Hey everyone. All right. I think we got everything live here. We've this week Pete was extra busy, so he wasn't going to be able to make it for tonight, but I thought I would still at least do some of the stuff that we had been talking about the last couple of weeks. I figured instead of not doing the stream at all, instead I'd at least try to do something. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can. It'll be a little bit harder on my own. Um, Trying to keep it interesting, but I will do the best that I can. Um, kind of going back over what we were looking at or what we've added recently was the some of these data files here, basically allowing us to store the content in text editable files so that we can easily manipulate the game, hopefully while we're even playing it, but at least minimally so that we can make some changes to the text files and then rerun the game and play with the new configuration. And so we've managed to create the data readers for these. We've got those in place, but the next thing that we're really trying to do is actually add this into the game itself. Because what we've been doing is we've actually had we've been writing tests around it. So we have a couple of tests that really ensure and that exercise the fact that it can do it. Is it every possible code path? Probably not. I'm probably hesitant to guess. Most likely not. But we're going to hopefully be able to keep running along there. The main spot that we come into the game is this game console class. It's really the piece that is the essence of the game. Because we have different consoles here for uh, different pieces of it, because it's like kind of broken up into a couple of different things. But now we've got that piece. We've got this piece here. We have the ability to load the files. We're going to try to add that into this process here. I think at the very least, this is probably one of the big ones that we can address early on. Yeah, so these right now are actually doing this hard-coded in here, right? But what I have done, and I'll bring it up in a different spot here so it's a little bit easier to read. Yeah, so now we can basically do it here in this file, right? So this is basically the same three as what we have here, right? We've just now, instead of it being hard-coded where we're doing it within code to build it, we're gonna now have it in the file. So we can actually, we should be able to completely eliminate that. So we need to add our new repository into the game somewhere. I think what I want to do, this is under resources, is where we've put all of our repositories for this. So I'm gonna add in. Can't be there. Oh, where was this? Right, because this should be in core data. Okay, so that's why we'll add it as well here, right? So what I'm going to do is in our core data, I want to add this concept of a data gateway for right now. This class will primarily just store the repositories that we want, right, for the different data types. So we have excuse me. I apologize for the yawning. I don't know what's going on tonight, but it started about an hour ago and I just been struggling to stop. Alright, so we're going to take this. So here's a good example, right? So we're going to take this one, we're going to add it to our data gateway, and we'll just do rewards. This is just going to have a getter on it. Yes. Well, let's see. It's got to be public. I was thinking initially in my head that I was doing an interface here, but that's not what I'm actually going to do. I decided against that. We actually kind of decided against it last week when we were talking about it because it felt like the interface was overkill, at least initially. So let's get these ones in here. So we want the game item. And we'll get our achievement repository in there. So take that. Put that down here. Do this. Alright, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I want to actually make that so this object has to take, it gets passed in these repositories and sets these privately. Because I think when... So the key being is we want to keep the repository separate from the actual core implementation logic. So that's why we actually have this separate resources project that stores the information about those. And what that really does is it does help create that boundary that we can define which of the iRepositories are going to actually be implemented within the application itself. So within the mono project here, that's actually the one that we want to put it into, or the SAD console project. So we will take in here, and we're going to just do this with a constructor. And we'll just take one of these. We'll put that. So we'll just do rewards, repo. We'll do it for each. I'm just going to do the order which I've got them in there. And then I wonder what that. All right, so now let's just get these set. So now we can do rewards equals rewards repository. Game items will obviously be game items repository. There we go. All right, so now we've got this. We got the data gateway. So now we want to make that part of this game console. So we'll have, maybe what we can do is we can add it here, right? So we'll just add one. Bring that in. We'll just call it a gateway. I want to configure that earlier than later. At some point, we'll probably want to look into actually bringing in some form of IOC container so that we can kind of put the stuff into that container to build that out. So let's do our. So we'll do that up there. So it's going to be a new can't find it, huh? Maybe because it's called reward. Oh, we don't even have a reference to it in here. All right, that would make sense. All right, so we're going to add a reference to our resources here. Now we can bring this in. All right, we do need to pass in a string for the file. The location should be resources that. Right, so this is the rewards one, so this should just be rewards.csv. Alright, so achievement repo. Alright, same thing. Nice. Alright, so now we'll just do, I'm just going to copy this to make my life easier. We'll rename the file. So these files here listed under this resource. That's why we've got this path set up that way. All right. Oh, interesting. So this is going to give us some trouble. Let's move this up. This is one of those problems that Pete and I had discussed before, that this is not the greatest to have any kind of information being leaked into this repository. So this repository actually needs game state to be able to do its work. Generally, I wouldn't do that kind of setup because you want the repositories themselves to be fairly straightforward and very simple. All right, so now. All right, so what we've done is we've now made this private. This actually should be lowercase. So for us to be able to actually use this within the rest of the game, we're going to have to give it some exposure. I think we can, at the very least, replace this here. Nope, does not like my to list. Oh, okay, because we don't have that there. All right, so this should actually be pretty good. The only main difference that we have here is we don't have. Ooh, we might run into a problem. I think Pete and I did not realize as we were working on this that we didn't complete a piece of this. So in our repository, so what we added was this concept of these rewards here, so we can actually give IDs to them. So you can, the goal being that the achievement itself can provide a reward. The rewards are in a different table because there's different types of rewards. We didn't want to try to figure out how to fit all that information into one. But I don't believe we're doing anything to actually store or to load that information and store it on the achievement at the moment. Yeah, so our achievement setting doesn't have a reward getting loaded. I don't want to mix repositories where we call one from another, because that's always just asking for trouble. I think what we'll actually want to do is change this to just storing a list of integer IDs. And those IDs can be the reward IDs. Oh wow, I didn't even add it to, did I add it to this table? I did. Okay, so I've got them in there. I just don't have anything testing. Well, let's do that, right? So let's build this and we'll add some tests in for it. So this is hard to do it here. We go back into VS Code where I have a editor. Ooh, this isn't my test file though. Let's go into the test project and get that out. Let's see, test. All right. So now I can just set some values in here. So we're going to make this 11, 12, and 13. That way I can do 21, 22, 23 there. Those will just be nice generic names on there. I don't know how much it matters. I don't think I'm only going to need to test one of them to ensure that this is good. So I do want to bring up this test. Let me pin that. And let's add some tests that we can get that are going to be failing, right? So we know we need to test the first one. So let's say, load achievement with rewards. Right, so now that it's a nice generic name for the test, we just need the first one. Which one was that in the test here? This was the inventory achievement one. All right, so we'll get this ID here. We don't need any of that. Do want that. So I want to get rid of these pieces. We're just going to check for the loading of the achievements. I think what we probably may actually need to do is do a test on where one in each of those fields, because of the way that it's going to load it, may give us a better way of testing it. So this should contain is already failing before we even built it, right? Because what we should actually have, we're going to actually have, ooh, with the test data that we've put in, which is a known state, this should be like that, right? So we should have those in there. What that means is that in the reward settings here, we made this the actual item. Let's make this an int. And I'm going to make this so it's reward IDs. That way it'll be a clear statement. This is going to end up breaking a bunch of stuff because we use this in, well, apparently 10 places, right? Because if you looked at this, there was 10 references to it. So we're going to need to take a look at this here. We should actually change our base for this. Oh, my function locks off. So our base for this actually still has this as reward. So let's change this to ints and change this to reward IDs. Shoot, let me do that. This way we can do a rename, refactoring. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do a quick build here so I can see what my errors are so I can focus on those. Oh, I'm just bad. Yeah, so these I'm going to comment out for right now. Actually, I don't even need them. Let's get rid of them because I don't think we're going to have anything calling them now. Where was the other issue that we had? Yeah, so this is the spot where we're going to take these IDs, and instead of doing this, we're gonna get it from the list, right? So this way we can actually call right into the database to get it, into the data files to get it, right? So, oh, I don't have a gateway exposed on game yet. Let's take a look at that because that is how we're going to achieve this. I put this in the console. Yeah, the set main process. Okay, so this is where we're going to do it. So this takes an iPotato chip game, right? So then here, let's add one more then, so that we can now do a all right, so now we have a gateway there. So I'll take it there. Then we just need to update our two implementations of this. All right, we have this one here, which is for the game the live execution of it. And there's going to be one more because of the testing framework, right? Yeah, our mock main process. I'm just going to create it like that because we're not using it anywhere just yet. And we're still calling this one still exists somewhere. So I'm just gonna I am gonna comment out because it's fine. We don't want it being used anywhere. So we'll rebuild again. All right, so now what we can do, because now we're actually going to have the reward ID, right? So this actually should be now reward ID, and then we can do our gateway call here. Oh, that's what I want to do. So now why does game not have that? Oh, I thought it exposed this. It does not. So we actually have to give it a proxy. So let's do it right here, right? So kind of like we did with this particular item, right? The one right above here, the apply reward, because we removed it from the spot that it was in, giving us some more freedom in that, the way that that was actually executed. This actually, let's do it like this one here, right? So we'll do there, gateway, get, then we'll just pass out gateway off of that. Missing reference fixed. Oh, I forgot the return keyword. There we go. Awesome. So now that that's there, now we can go back to here. Yeah, so now what we're doing is that instead of it being on the object itself that's coming in, we're not going to make the instantiation of that reward responsible from it's not responsible from the achievement or the achievement repository. So this will allow us to do that. Now, what I would like to do with this is move this into something that can accept an event, some kind of command that says to do this. That way we can really restrict how it gets affected, right? That's the big benefit of distracting it from this, because this isn't like check achievement maybe makes sense here. It might be better to have something that's more named more along this lines, because this doesn't actually do a return anywhere. And I think what if this was to return and said true or false, that way we could get back or get like a check achievement result that might have some more detail about it. We're doing also output to the screen right directly from the game achievement, which that seems like it should be coming from the caller. So the methods on this class aren't the greatest for managing its own state. Well, let's see if we can build. And it says it built. Our tests. Oh, our tests are failing. So let's see. These are still failing. This is not happening. Maybe because in our get settings, we're not actually returning that as part of this, right? So, oh, interesting. So that's okay. That's actually this type for it is going to be problematic. I'm surprised that these ones work. Yeah, so we're actually going to need to add this to the other children of this. Interesting. This is here. Okay. I think this can be removed. Let's go to our references. Yep, so I gotta add it to this one. And then there's actually one more with that. Oh. It was there already on this one. Interesting. Okay, cool. So I think we might be okay. So now the problem is that the repository itself is actually not loading. Right, so we need to come back into here, and we need to fix how it gets that. So let's do it like this, right? So we'll just add one here. We'll go reward IDs equals get reward IDs from it. Oh. Let's just create one of those. I'll bring it down here. Let's bring it down one more. There we go. And so this one should take X. Maybe we can do this as, just do this as an IEnumerable. I'll just say if X dot oh, we don't even have it here. It's not even loading it. Oh boy. Let's do int, and we'll do reward ID 1. I'm hoping that this will work the way I'm thinking it will, right? So my thought is that those blanks, because we're doing them as ints, that if it's not set, that we'll actually be able to get a null value here. So I can then check on here. We can say reward 1 dot has a value. Then we can do this. And then we just do like that. Oh, it doesn't like it because it's not a. There we go. So now we should be able to do that like this. And then we just make this a 2. Add 2. And that one a 3. Alright, so now it's going to get upset up here because we actually did it as an enumerable, so that we could use the yield return on it. It's one of those. It may be kind of a hack to actually get that in there that way, but it should work. Oh, now we're getting green. So. And I think this will account for the different types, right? Whether we have 1, 2, or 3 rewards. But to be good, let's just confirm it, right? So we'll name this one all rewards. I'm gonna name. We can leave this like that. So we're gonna say with 1 reward, right? So it should contain our first reward, and then the number of reward IDs should actually only be 1. Right, so that way we can confirm that in our test. So right now this one is failing because it's still using this ID here. Let's say, let's maybe make this one achievement. With 1 reward ID. There we go. I'm going to add this up to the top here. Let's do that. Let me do this with 2 and 3 reward. Right. So 3 is already happening on our first one because that's what we've done. Oh, I could edit there, but let's do it through here so we can see it a little bit better. So I can now, oh, that's not what I wanted to add a row. Make this 3, make this an inventory achievement. Something silly, doesn't make a difference. Oh, why did I do it in 4? That is just silly. Alright, so we'll put this in here as 3. We're going to add threshold, and then this one's only going to have 1 item in it. Now I need to add 1 more row. Let's see if I can just copy this row. Nope. Alright. There we go. We can do that. Now, let's just, for the sake of argument, let's make this 31 and make this 41 so it kind of matches the thing, right? So now we can apply and save that. I want to go back over here and do the first reward, right? With 1, this should actually now be 31. Ah, awesome. So now that one's working. Now let's do a 2. And this is going to be this one with 2. But since this was actually 4, so this should be 41 and 42. And I copied this in the wrong spot, so that wasn't even building. There we go. Oh, what the heck is happening? Just broke something super good, didn't I? Oop. Yeah, that should do the trick. Oh, that should have done the trick. What was our... Oh, because actually this one is 2, so it should have been 2 records, right? All right. Yeah. That is good. So now we're actually loading those achievements. I'm wondering if this will work. We haven't seen... Oh, interesting. Interesting. Why would that have been the case? Let's see. I shouldn't... shouldn't have to reference it. It's almost like it's saying that I need to have it as a reference. Let's see. So, yeah, but it was working fine for the test. So hold on a second. Something's weird is going on here. Because it should have worked, because the tests work fine, and they're in a separate project. Let's see what I did. Let's see what I did. 472. Standard 2.0. That should be fine. What's this one here? Ooh. Maybe CSV helper doesn't have a... Is it not a standard 2.0? We're gonna have to explore why we're getting this error. Oh, why am I getting? Total number of achievements has changed. Yeah, so now there are 4 items. So that should at least get rid of the red. All right, good. But we do have a situation. This I'm guessing it's a problem because it's a different assembly type. Yeah, it says 4.5. And we're using 4.7.2. The library being a standard 2.0, I don't think I should have had to do it like this. Yes. Your name's John. No, I don't think we need to go over the instructions again. They probably need to be updated anyways. Need to buy 3 diggers. Control room. Say equip. Name this one Sam. Equip Pete. Even though Pete's not here, that'll do one for me. Normal. Rich, soft, that should be pretty good. Alright, so that should actually get us some stuff here. Alright. Can you dig it? That you can see that that first achievement came in good, which means at least they loaded up properly, so we were able to actually get that stuff happening. Now we can try to empty some of these. Oh. Empty same instead of empty Pete. And there we go. So So now we've got the 500 chips. Now the question is, did the reward load properly? We'll find that out by going over to the store and seeing if it's in the inventory. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. So the apply reward might need more. Let's take a look and see what happened in there. I wonder if we can write a test for this. I feel like we should be able to. That would save us some of this time of running it to get to that point, right? Where's apply reward? Here we go. Okay, so this goes back to the problem with the IDs that we had before. So I'm gonna need to jump. I need to see what this reward is loading up, right? So it's got this game item ID. I don't think our rewards even have the ID. Let's double check that, right? So let's look in the rewards here. Yeah, so this doesn't indicate that the reward ID. So let's open up that file. I was about to open up the wrong. I don't even know what that would have done. Let's open up the reward here. And we see we've got a game item ID. So we have a game item ID, but it must not be doing anything with it. So let's take a look at our loader here, right? So in our get all, we're getting these reward records. It's coming in, and then we are taking the type. All right, so now we need to go back into the reward portion, right? So instead of this being a game item, what we actually are going to want is we want to add in a game item ID. We'll do that. And then this here will be an int. And this will be a game item ID. So now we'll set that to the game item ID. Right, and then we're going to want to remove this. Now we can take a look and see where all that stuff is actually being used. In here, this should actually, it's always going to have a game item ID. So we can make that part of the interface. Right, so now we've got the game item ID. There. So let's build it. Because if you build it, they will come. So this is the apply reward. Oh, so that's 2 of them. So that's good. That's there, and then this here. Nope, we don't want that. This is now going to be game item ID. Boom. So now we've got that happening. That is good. So what that actually means for us, though, is any of the spots where that item that was originally on there was being used, we're actually going to have to go back to the gateway to get that specific item, right? So in our game, this spot here where we're actually using it, this is where we're going to need to take it and actually get a game item We should probably just use this here. Put this in the spot here. That'll give us 1 saving. Oh. Right, so that's there. So now what we want is we're going to actually go to the game. We're going to do gateway, do rewards. We got to do the get all. This is not the greatest way of doing this, but I don't know what we're going to do separate. We may change a little bit of this. Maybe we'll actually we'll create a wrapper on this that will cache that, so this get all will only load it once. I think the idea of being able to load it each time is beneficial when you're testing. But we'll just keep going with it, right? So now take this, we get the reward, we get the game item ID. There we go. That should. Oh, yeah, this is supposed to be game items. There we go. That's why everything started failing on this. I'm going to rename that while we're here. Right. Might as well get this one renamed to be in sync with all the rest of the stuff. That will live. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. All right. So now that we've done that, right? Now we're actually going to be getting the reward. We get the ID from that to get the new game item that we want. That's going to be used to create this new items for sale piece. Or this new store item that we're adding for items for sale. All right, awesome. So now that we can do that, we should be able to run this and actually see us get the reward. I think once we do that, I want to try to put a test around that, because I think that would be very nice to have. It'll make this portion of it faster to actually do the testing too. Yes. All right, so we're going to go to the store. Whoop. I can type. Now we can buy digger. Now we go to the control room. Now we can equip. Right. Ooh, it's not great. I may have to go to the store and buy another digger. All right, let's get. Oh my goodness, this is not good. Not good at all. Well, while we're waiting for that, we'll just do a shout out to Pete here. The chat. Now we get a little of the. All right, so let's try going through here and emptying these out, right? So do. Ah, all right, so we hit the achievement. Awesome. So now let's go back to the store and see if we got our item. Oh, we still didn't get our item. Because 500 chips should have given us 500 chips should have given us. Let's close this one. Close that one. Let's close that one. So this. Oh, we never put the reward IDs in for it. Well, that's at least a better mistake because everything seemed like it was looking good. All right, so let's close that out again. So now what I need to do is so we got the rewards here. So we got 1 and 2. So this was 1 and this was 2. So that should do it. Let's apply and save that. I'm going to do a rebuild. Then we'll try running it again, and I think this time we'll actually get the result that we were expecting, right? Where we're going to actually get the data that we want. Hopefully. I was just thinking about whether it's going to actually work or not. No tests. Alright, so let's go to the store. Alright, this time we're just going to buy 5 diggers right out of the gate. Oh, no more diggers. Alright, so I think we got some here, right? So we can probably start just emptying them so I can try to get to the achievement. Empty Todd. Oh, alright. Well, that is not what I expected. Let's see what our reward ID was. Reward ID was 1. What if I evaluate this one? Quick watch. That's what I was looking for. Ooh, gateway's null. How would that be possible? Oh, game gateway get return null. Where do we think that would be? Where do we think that would happen? Because it clearly worked. Oh, we didn't have the reward IDs in there, so it wasn't actually hitting this like I expected. Well, let's go to the definition of this, right? So this... So that means this was null. Which means when we called into this, it was null. This is... Oh! So, alright, so I see what I did here is I mistakenly missed out on actually repassing up the item, right? So like I did for the game state, I need to do the same thing here, where I should have been passing that back up. Right, so that now gets chained down and it comes back up. So that was missing. So that's why the one way it was null and another way it wasn't, which is why I was getting confused because the execution to load the achievements was working fine, but nothing else. All right, so that should be my 5. Now I can start emptying some of these, right? So just to try to get to it. Oh, here we go. This was odd. Ah, we changed this. It's an interesting thing. I did not realize we would run into this. So when I fixed the column name so that it was ID instead of item ID, this ended up breaking. What's interesting, and I didn't notice, and I got to figure out how to make that more like yelling at me, because I did not see this failure here, right? So clearly it knew already, like right away, that it was failing. I just didn't notice it because I wasn't trying to be aware of that. I'm wondering if there's some end crunch goodness that we can do to make this stand out more. Nothing from here anyways. Oh, brought over to the other screen. Let's see what we can do with end crunch here, because it'd be nice to have it yell at me a little bit more. Or maybe not let it run when it's breaking. Maybe there's a way in Visual Studio that I can do it, right? That I can actually say, let's do, let's see, VS 2019 fail build when tests fail. Well, I think I'm just gonna have to keep a better eye out. I think that would have to be my answer for right now, because it was red. So, and clearly the problem is that field, right? So what I actually need to do is I want that to be the name, right? So I actually want this to be ID. So I'm gonna fix that one, and then I gotta fix it in here as well. There we go. So that should get them green, right? So now I'm green. Let's see what this is offering up. Yep, so let's do that. Let's do that one. Ooh, what did I do there? There's one here that's saying Smart duplication. This is in my rewards test. Oh, maybe it wasn't the rewards. It was the achievements here. Why does it think? Let me just do that one. And that one's fine. You know what? That's fine. I think I know what it's trying to tell me there. Those are fine. But shouldn't they be? Yes, should be 1. I thought I was trying to do it here, but is that wrong? Let me just clear those right now. Alright, so the ID was fixed in the files. We should fix those, which should mean that we're now in green test territory. 33 passing. That is a winner. And then we will, let's try running it again. Because I think this will be the result, huh? So, yes. No. Go to the store. We'll buy our 5. Let's buy 6. Diggers. Go to the control room. Then we'll equip. Say equip. Oh, what? Apparently I can only buy 5. Fair enough. So go to equip. Sam, equip. Pete. Alright, so now we got our diggers going. All normal density. Wow, that's crazy. Build 5 in a row and you get all normal density. I mean, at least it's better than scarce for all of them, because that would have made this slow. Alright, that happened. Ah, look at that. A new item is for sale at the store. Large hopper. That message is now coming out. That wasn't before. So that's a good sign. Now we've got a large hopper there. Now the question is, can we even get it, right? So I don't think we can, but we gotta make sure that works properly, because just because that item got in there doesn't mean we can get it out and actually use it, because we ran into that through other stuff another time. Let's see here. So Sam, empty Jim, empty John, empty. Alright, so we got the chips. Wow, we got so many broken though, right? Let's see, sell chips. Oh, so you have just enough to get a large hopper, right? So let's do that. Let's buy a large hopper. Oh, look, we even got the second item in there. So we got our standard bit. So now we got that. Now I can go to the control room again. And we can say upgrade. Let's upgrade Sam. I'm going to do hopper. Oh, shoot. Ah, the item is not a digger upgrade. Now, isn't that interesting? I don't think that's what I would have expected. Why would that have happened? Right, because we bought the item that was in here. So now we have this buying command. So do buying, buy that. What's buying versus buy? Oh, I don't know. That's a weird command. So here we should now have what was that message? The item is not a digger upgrade. Well, let's look for that. The item is not a digger upgrade. Oh. Oh. Well, that is going to be an interesting problem, isn't it? So, did the game item... How would it have known that it was a digger upgrade item? Because I didn't think we were doing anything that should indicate that. Interesting. So chips hopper upgrade item. Let's take a look at this, right? Because this is a game item, isn't it? Oh. So one of the things we don't have a sense of in the game right now, or in the files as we're loading them, is this fact that there's something that's inheriting from game item, right? So there's actually another level to it. It's very similar to the achievements, right? So in the achievement file, we have this achievement type. That way we can put the different ones in there. I think we're going to have to do that for the game items as well. It's kind of a bummer. But I think we have to do it. All right, so well, why don't we test it in here in the basic game items, right? So we have this, which was nice, but what we actually need to have is item type. So we're gonna have, probably gonna put that up at the front here. So we'll just do an item type, and let's do. We'll just have. Just have one called game item. Then we need to have one that is going to be a chips, right? And then this one, what was the other one that we had? chips hopper upgrade item and bit upgrade item. All right, bit upgrade item. And we'll put that in here in our test file. So 3 will be that. This is going to be an interesting problem, I think. So we're going to need to capture the additional data, right? That's part of it. That's one of the things here, right? So bit upgrade item. Let's do this first. Digger upgrade item. Let me close that file. Let me bring in. This way it just makes it a little easier. Oh, actually, I have to put in new headers. So. All right, so that's there. What were the items? Required slot level and level. Let's do this, and then level. We'll just do one at a time, right? So let's see. The chips hopper upgrade item has a size. So now we'll add a size. Now we're going to add another column because I think now there's going to be a min and max, right? Because that was for the bit upgrade. There we go. Get that. That's the additional values for it. All right, perfect. So we'll take that one and we'll get this rolling in the tests, right? So I have this game item repository. So now this is going to definitely expand upon it because we have just this little bit here. And we actually have 3 now. So that should happen. Okay, so now we want to be able to do load game item with of chips. We'll do this one first, right? We'll do chips hopper upgrade item. Right, so we're going to have to add some cons to this. You know what? We'll do it through refactoring to it, right? So we'll do the game item repo. All right, so now we're going to do where the ID is equal to 2. And then here we actually are going to need to cast this, right? So we'll do just item. Actually, we could just do it right on top of this one here, right? So I could just make this that type. Let's put this in there. Yes. So now does it not like here? Oh, application's running. That's why it's not upset. That should be right. What do we name that one? Yeah, so name 2, right? Okay. Oh, not should all be. Should be. Right, so that's actually not what we have in here, though. Oop. So for this one, this should be 2, this should be 1, and we'll say that this is 100, right? So that way we can tell the difference. We'll apply and save that one. See if that fixes our test. Oh, it doesn't like the first one, huh? Oh. Oh, yeah, so that would make sense, right? That's why we're having a problem here. So we're gonna actually, it's not gonna like any of this, right? So now we'll just make a class here to capture this information. So we'll just name it game item record. This will be the same thing. So what I'm gonna do is copy game item in. Because that's all part of this. And then now we have to actually add in the new fields. Right, so now we've got the item type. Yep. And then required slot level. And then there's a level. And then there's a min and a max. All right, so those should now be able to come in, and now we're gonna have to do something that's similar to what we're doing in these other repositories, right? So like if you look in here, we're actually doing a get records call, and then we're actually doing something with that get records call, right? So let's do the same thing. So we'll have this do it in here. We'll do a private how I was doing it in the other ones. That's already a read-only list, that's fine. So that, get records. Paste this in here. And then this is actually going to be of this type because we now need to capture this new information. So now we can do kind of almost the exact same logic that we did in here, right? Yeah, let's just do it just like that. I like it. This is going to be item type. Alright, so now we're going to have our two new item types, which are this one and great. Alright, so alright, put this in here, put that there, copy this into this name, which will create moment. Make that X. Let's say bad item type. This will be item type. And this will be game item ID. There we go. So that way it'll be able to pass it out. If there's an error in the loading, oh, why is it one as a T result? I guess because I can't tell from the use of it. This is actually going to be a game item. Actually, in this case, it'll be a chips hopper upgrade item. Alright, do the same thing for this one. Alright, this won't be that, this will be a bit upgrade item. Very nice, so now let's do return chips. Let's see, required slot level. There. Level, which should be that. Size. Did I forget to add size? Oh, I did. So we'll do there. Alright, so we've got that one coming in. We need to do one for this here, so bit grade item. So something I just noticed that I missed is that there should be one that's like this, right? So I'm actually going to copy this one here, create a new one. This is actually just going to be a game item. Let's get rid of that. Fix it. Fix. All right, and then this should just be build game item. All right, so I did two in my switch, but I really should have had a third one. Right, should have been game item. Nope. Build game. There we go. Rename that record. Alright, do those. Oh boy. Alright, so those should be happening now. see if that fixes this, because okay, so I do need to check on these for existence, right? So I need to make these null, not nullable. This one, we're going to need to add the same things. So, quite amount value, and then level. And then right, so that should nullable object must have a value. Oh, did I not put the data in properly? I did not. Right, so this one, same thing, none of that. 1, 2. Let's apply and save that, because that should refix these. Should fix these now. Oh, we are all green there. Let's take a look at our tests, and now we're getting wrong tests. Okay, so now we're not even right. So this is actually at least testing that, because that means that this is working. Now we're getting that, and then we should have game item dot size that should be 100. Yep, and then let's do one similar for this is bit upgrade item. All right, and then this should have been 3 because then that's going to be 3. Size doesn't exist for that one, so it should have a min. And we just did some basic values, so you can tell that they're different. All right, so if, ooh, wow, that felt lucky. Let's fix the casing on that. We're getting close to time of wrapping it up. Oop. And yeah, so now that that's working, I think I need to update these the files that I have here already for it, right? Because this only has the 3. So let me take the header that I have on here. Let's take that over to the file for it. And then this way, you know, this will just be game item. Game item. This is going to be what the chips hopper upgrade item. And then that one, we'll put that there. So let me save that. I saved it. So let me do that, and then I need one from, I guess I'll just go into the game for it. now I can bring this in here. Do that, change that. So now I gotta remember what these values should be, right? Because I don't ship's hopper upgrade item. I don't remember. I'm hoping it'll be in here, right? Required slot level 0, that's a level 1, that's a 100. Right, so 0, 1, 100. And then hopefully this will have a bit in here too. Yep. Alright. 12 and 40, 0 and 1, so this is 0, 1. So 12 and 40. Right, so apply and save that. Let's see if we can now run. Well, tests are green. That's a good start. Yep. Nope. 4, 5, 5 digger. Control room. Equip. Say. Equip Jim. Equip Pete. Equip John. Right. So. Gotta let them run a little bit because we got normal, 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 scarce, normal. Oh, scarce and solid. That one's gonna get us like 5 chips. What is that? Oh, that's me. That's John. Let's do. Check one more look at our list here. Yeah, Sam's broken already, right? Oh, alright, so we got the hopper. Shoot, just shy. Okay. See, you got empty Jim, empty Pete, empty Todd. Sell our chips. Got it to 145, so now we should be able to buy large hopper. So now I got the large hopper. Let's see if it actually will work now, right? So now we want to do upgrade. I'll do it to Jim. Oh, okay. Inspect Jim. All right. Very good. Very good, very good. Now we've got that working. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you again. Probably going to be wrapping up a little soon here because I'm getting to a point that I've got work in place. Let me see. So I got, have files loading all of our information for our game, which is great. Versus the hard coding that we had been doing. Let's see. We've got. All right, so. Very good. So we got all my test passing. Got a gateway. I want to take a quick look through here the code that I actually changed, right? Oh, I can't make this any bigger. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the game is coming along. We're trying to get these files in there so that we can easily manipulate the data while we're actually running it or want to be able to make changes to upgrade the game as we're going. So I think that's what we're focusing on right now. And I've got 3 of the main items that we deal with moved over. My buddy Pete wasn't able to join us tonight because he just this week was overloaded with work, as everybody is. So it made it tough. It's sometimes it's hard talking to yourself. It feels like. All right, got that. What is this? What is this? Scrap command. We should look at that. Scrap command. Ooh. This. We should probably not even do it like this because this is an inventory item, which is okay. But we need to. This game item is not coming this. Shouldn't come in this way. So let's call it from our gateway now. Game item. Ooh. Alright, so we'll get where the name is equal to bolts. Ooh, so that's singular. Actually, I'm going to need to change this file here because if we leave it like that, that's going to cause an issue. Let's see where else we're actually doing something like that. So bolts. So I want to search the entire solution for this bolts because this is a magic string in the system. It always gets concerning. Alright, so let's do this. I want to replace, we're going to do case sensitivity. We gotta see if there's anything else in this list that is used that way. Right, so let me see if raw chip is used anywhere in this system. Oh boy. Oh, what is this being? Yeah. That's true. Oh boy. So I think me see where this mine reference is, because see, it's loading these game items here. I really want that to be coming all of it from our files. And I think this might end up breaking. All right, we'll come back to that because these are all game items and they should be coming out of the game item repository. Yep. I think this is going to be the next thing that we're going to have to try to address. Alright, there's one file in here I need to actually remove, which is one I commented out. I want to make sure I just remove the file because I don't think it's necessary anymore. Oh. Here it was the Achievements Builder. Core Services Achievement Builder. Yeah, we don't need that file anymore. Achievement Builder. There we go. That's right. There we go. Just get rid of that file. So no longer needed. I think there's one other piece here. We have to do that. All right. Oh boy. All right. I think since I'm out of time at this point tonight, I'm going to get this checked in. All my tests are passing. So this introduces the data gateway. And used for loading game items, achievements, and rewards. All right. I'll push that up for Pete to take a look at over this week. And thanks for everyone for joining. And we will be back on Friday. And well, I suspect we'll be back on Friday. Maybe just me by myself, only because I know Pete's got a lot going on here, trying to get ready for a new venture that we're doing together. But he's got to deal with a lot of it. So he may not be able to join us the next couple of streams, but I'm going to plan on continuing to do it. So I hope everyone will join us back later. All right. Have a good night, everyone.